Ladies and gentlemen, to part 53 of Let's Play SpellForce 3. In the last part, we came to Mullendir after getting the Undergast and also getting one of the two Nexus fragments. So, first things first, we're going to go talk to Aonir, this bitch, the Dreamweaver, because apparently she's got some shit we can talk to. We also bought a whole lot of weapons. We bought a new burning sword for me. We bought a helmet, a new hood for her. Nothing for you, nothing for you. Nothing for you, nothing for you. And to Undergast we bought armor and a... Oh yeah, we bought some talismans.
Let's see.
Yes, Corporal? How can I help?
Well, there's something I've been meaning to ask you. How did you become an assassin?
Why do you want to know?
Because I want to know my allies.
Huh. I see. In short, my mother sold me. And after an incident, my owner noticed my talents. He started to train me to carry out jobs for him. And when I was 17, he had an accident. I've been an independent assassin ever since.
Your mother sold you? But where? Why?
Because she needed the coin, and already had 4 children to feed. And as for your first question, where there is demand, there is a market. Particularly in a big city like Greyfell. It's not as uncommon as you might believe.
You're saying there's a slave market in Greyfell?
Slaves, sex, murdering for pleasure. Just imagine every dark desire you can think of. And you know what the Greyfell Bazaar has to offer. I find it interesting that this surprises you. Didn't you serve in the Royal Army for 8 years?
I only joined shortly before the Mage Wars started, and the Greyfell affairs were the responsibility of the Greyfell Guard. I just didn't know.
Well, now you do. I do not agree with the purity of light in most aspects. But they are right when they say there are many sinners in this world. If you believe in the concept of sin, that is.
Even if she needed the money, that's despicable.
Well, to her credit, she didn't take it lightly. At least as far as I can remember. I was only 7 when that happened.
That doesn't make it better. How do you feel about this? Your mother selling you off?
Well, I used to feel strongly about it. Now I've simply accepted it as part of my past. But there are plenty of reasons for that.
That's quite the story.
Is it?
So, who is this man who bought you?
I won't talk about that. This chapter of my past is done, and I want it to stay buried.
That sounds like you're hiding something.
I am. But it should be of no relevance to you. So, tell me, Pariah. How did you become the betrayer's child in the first place? It's rare for a child to defy their own father.
He lost his vision. When he started the rebellion, it was about the safety of mages, but he became more and more radical. I just couldn't stand by and watch anymore.
That's admirable. Well, thank you for sharing this with me. Either way, is there anything else you need?
Goodbye.
Nope. Okay, so next would be Gore, I'm guessing. Is that Gore? Nope, that's Rowan. Let's go talk to Rowan. So yes, Undergast is going to be a new part of our our main party for a while. Hopefully, it'll be pretty useful. Going to be focusing on white magic with him. Well, healing, basically healing. And whoa, fuck off! Rowan shouldn't be there. Fuck Rowan. Rowan's shite in comparison to Undergast. But, oh well. Let's go talk to Rowan.
Dahar, what is it?
There's one thing I've been wondering about. After we parted at the hideout, what exactly happened? How did you and my father part ways?
Good question. I guess it all started with the relics, the tomes. You remember them, right?
Yes. He was hoping they'd help him to win the war.
Exactly. And there was this one moment when he found the 5th tome. When I came to a realization. You see, there were all those bodies. Enemies, but also many of our people. We had shed so much blood, Dahar. But Asamo, he didn't care. If there was any grief in his eyes, I couldn't see it. And as dramatic as it may sound, That's when I finally understood that we had lost our cause. This wasn't about ideals, about us mages anymore. It was about him. Whatever his intentions had become.
And that's the reason Zane, Helena, and I betrayed him. Come on, do you really want to tell us you didn't see that before? The tomes were all about power.
I knew it was about power, but Asamo always told us that he would use that power for the greater good. And it's not that far off. I mean, can't you imagine? With the power of the tomes, we could have united the world. Even made it a better one. No more persecution of the deviant. No more wars, no more suffering.
You still sound like a fanatic.
I'm sad you see it that way.
I'll be off.
Alright, now we go talk to... No, we've got Undergast. Where the fuck are Gauze in the Nexus, isn't it? My apologies. Anyway, we'll move straight to... Oh, what do you sell?
Now look at that. The fabled Corporal. Good to finally meet you in person. I'm Flynn, second in command of the Wayfarers. I have to say, for someone who only led a puny Nortander division once, you're doing quite a good job leading an army so far. Not of them saying I couldn't do better, but still. Anyway, if you come to arm our men, I strongly suggest you do so.
But you're armed already, aren't you?
Well, yes, with rusty swords and dented armors. I mean with proper equipment. If you give me the coin, I'll send out orders to my contacts in Everlight. It'll improve our strike force significantly.
Can you tell me more about you? Rowan seems to think highly of you.
As he should. What do you want to know?
So, what's your job in the Wayfarers?
Well, let's just say that I know a great deal of people. And I can also handle myself in a fight.
What did you do before the Wayfarers were formed?
Depends on how far before we're talking. I did some jobs here and there and then joined the military.
Some jobs? So you were a baker? A bard?
Very funny. I was a mercenary.
And then you joined the Royal Army?
Yes. I was even part of the Wolf Guard for a year or so.
Really? How come we never met?
Because that was way before your time. I know I don't look it, but I'm quite some years ahead of you, Dahar. I served under General Noria, under Sentenza, before that disaster at the Iskander Fortress.
How come you left?
Well, there were a couple of reasons. In a nutshell, I didn't agree with some of the things Sentenza made us do. So I deserted, just like you. Anyway, after I left, I went back into the mercenary business for a while. Then the Mage War broke out, things went to shit, and I went into hiding. Finally, a year ago, I met Rowan, and he told me about his idea. I immediately agreed. Doing good while not being bound to uniforms, orders, and morning drills was something I'd always wanted to do. I simply didn't expect anyone else to share that vision.
I want to buy some better equipment for the Wayfarers.
Music to my ears. What did you have in mind?
Yeah, now that I think about it, I couldn't give a fuck about your units, because I don't like the humans in combat, so we're just going to ignore the humans as I do them. I just wanted to see what that was very interesting. We do need to go arm the elves, though, while I'm here. So that's something we definitely need to do this part next. Dahar does a lot of different damages. I'm pretty proud of that. Of course, there's a fucking one godstone I haven't unlocked. I am 90% sure now that we have unlocked all of the Gurkha Stones, or whatever, yeah, godstones. And the guys, you're sure fucking miles away, man. Come on.
I must say, I am impressed.
With Mullendir? Yes. It's quite a sight. I still can't believe we're the first ones who found this place.
It seems unlikely, yes, but yet it happened. Iskrim, the dwarf, told me about it. He said that the rock illusion shielding the entrance vanished as soon as you spoke the words, and that it did not react to Iskrim himself.
Tell me, Dahar, what do you make of that?
I don't know. It might have been coincidence.
That is true.
I believe we stand on the verge of a change. Things have happened, Dahar. Things, the extent of which we have not even come close to comprehending. and they have set something in motion.
How do you know this? Are you some kind of medium?
A medium? No, quite the opposite. I'm an observer. As you have undoubtedly noticed, I lack the, let us call it, emotional intensity most people display in their daily lives. That can be a challenge, but it also allows me a unique perspective on the world.
And to me, it is evident that the war your father started has done more than simply given birth to the purity of light. It was the first pebble in what will soon become an avalanche.
You're talking about the Bloodburn.
Among other things, yes. But as I said, there is more to it. All this, your journey, your role in what Rondar Lacaine believes to be a vision sent by Aonir. It is only the beginning. But let us continue this discussion when I can give you more than vague, semi-prophetic statements.
All right. We'll talk later.
Why? When?
When something comes up. I'll go prepare for our next mission now.
Understood.
You're a weird one, Undergast. You're a fucking weird one. I'm pretty sure the elves are... Yep, the elves would be this fucking far down. Well, I can run there. We'll get there in time. So, before this part is up, we're gonna go to the We're gonna go do the secret of the... No, sorry, the bring goblin flesh to the Goblin King. Mullendir's done. Then we're gonna do the... We're probably gonna... I don't know if we're gonna do these ones first, but I'm probably gonna go do the goblin flesh one because I do have a decent amount of it stored up. 59. And yes, I remember buying some, so that's why it's so high. I do need some better armor, though, because this armor, to be honest, doesn't look that good. And I wish this sword was purple, because I'd rather have this sword. I just like the look with the little like line in between. Fucking hell, Mullendir is very beautiful. I mean, it could do with a bit of restoration, but other than that, it's a really nicely designed city. Who are
Now,
you?
would you look at
I
that?
can talk to you. I want to know who you are.
Ellen's Reigns. What a journey. But I must admit, this city is a marvel. Such beauty. It almost makes me forget the reason I'm here.
Are you still, heartbroken?
I shall forever be heartbroken. But none of that matters anymore. If the fire in her heart does not burn as brightly for me as mine does for her, then so be it. Tell me, do you mind if I stick around for a while longer? Iskander isn't safe these days, especially not for a vagabond elf. And there's no way on Io I'm going back into that accursed city. Even if the darkest alleys of Everlight carry her flowery scent, even the most mischievous of voices whisper her lovely words, even...
Yes, you can stay. Maybe you could even help us out with your skills.
Of course. I have already talked to the elves in your company. Moorhair weapons are a bit different, but not too much from what I usually create. Just come to me if you require my knowledge. Yes? Have you come to see the fruits of my labor?
Damn it, I can't see if these are better than Yera's. Fuck. Ooh. Ooh, Elven Winterage. Druid, Protector. I don't remember those. Winter Mages. Winterage, what the fuck? And Ballista. Oh, these must be the siege weapons and that. I haven't ever used any of those. So I can't tell if that's actually good or not. The rest... Oh, that's a crippling... You know what? It may be purple, but unfortunately I don't know if it's actually any good. Let us move to this one over by the Scryer. And we'll see what that one has. We'll even talk to the Scryer, because I'm pretty sure she's the one with the weapon blueprints for the elves.
What is it?
I would like to train the elves.
Well, if you have the coin, I might be able to help. Let's see.
So, reinforcement, yes. Cost reduction, yep. Reinforcement. Oh, that's Wind Wanderer. Novice is worth doing, and I'm going to sell all of those. I'm even going to sell Undergas stuff because I just don't need it. Right, let's apply all these because I like the elves. That should make my life a little bit easier. Right, I believe the exit to Mullendeer is... fuck. Okay, you know what? Fuck it. We'll go do the goblin and that later. We'll do that next part, definitely then. But now that our our elves are a lot stronger, we do need to re-earn all that money. Shouldn't be too long, I don't think. Take too long, I don't think. I do need to get some leadership skills, but my brutality tree is just so much more useful. Raise is going to be useful, and Unleash Wrath is going to be very useful as well. Oh shit! Let's get into the Burning Eyes place. Nothing like having your eyes burned out of your head, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing at all. First things first, we'll go talk to Yera. We'll talk to Gore last, because Gore is right where we need to... Actually, no, we'll talk to Gore, then we'll go move on. Because the Nexus room is where we need to implant this Nexus Stone, or insert the Nexus Stone. So something tells me we'll not be there for a while.
How are you holding up?
Fine, I guess. Thanks for asking. You know, Corporal, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Yes?
Well, not knowing your mother and all that shit your father put you through. Do you ever feel lost?
I manage.
I see. You know, I haven't told you that yet, but actually our pasts aren't so different. Save for the fact that my father didn't try to conquer the world, at least not that I know.
How are our pasts alike then?
Simply put, I also didn't know my mother. And my father was a bastard if there ever was one.
What happened to your mother?
She died giving birth to me.
I'm sorry.
It's alright. As I said, I never knew her.
I take it you and your father aren't on good terms then?
You are of great wisdom, Dahar. No, we were not. I was and still am the only heir of the family, and if there's anything my father ever cared about, it was prestige. You see, it might not be obvious, but I'm actually of noble blood. Pure blood, as Flynn and Mir elves call it. Nothing impressive, small nobility. You know, similar to the kind of Nortander nobility that's always around at royal festivities, licking everyone's boots so that they just don't forget about them.
There's nobility in Flynn and Mir?
Oh, yes there is. They don't call it that, but essentially Flynn and Mir is an aristocracy.
How so?
Well, as you might know, elven culture heavily revolves around the White Tree, a gift from their goddess Ellen. Simply put, the tree is revered and guarded by a group of mages, of seers, called the Council. They're the rulers of our country, 6 women and 6 men. Now, according to the ancient lore, when a seer dies, his or her successor is chosen by the Council. However, it has become custom that a seer should be replaced by someone from his bloodline. Someone pure, as they call it.
Which means they make sure that the power stays within the right families.
Indeed. And even though elven families in themselves are small, if you count all the cousins, aunts, and uncles, the members of just one council family could populate a whole township. In other words, the closer your blood ties with the council, the closer you are to the White Tree. And thus, the higher your standing.
So I assume your father put you under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. I barely had a childhood. It was all stern-faced teachers instead, trying to feed me language, history, math, and magic from the day I could speak. And I can't even remember all those festivities and religious ceremonies I had to attend. It was as if I learned the meaning of the word small talk before I learned how to ask for my mother's teat. Not that she would have been around to listen.
How about friends?
Oh, that's another topic. I was allowed to go out and play as long as it was with the right people. Still, I didn't, which was my choice, really. One of the few I made in those years. I preferred to stay on my own.
How come?
I don't know. See, I've always felt a bit ahead of others. As you know, we think in other dimensions than you do. Our lives are a lot longer, What that means is that an elf who has seen 20 winters is still considered and looks like a child, thus behaves as such. I just never felt at home with most people, especially around my age. And that feeling never changed.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the next part we'll continue this conversation. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next part. See you guys then.